Nationers. Maxx Crosby was supposed to be a Baltimore Raven this season, and as you can see here, I have set up the trade to send Maxx Crosby back to the Baltimore Ravens because the Baltimore Ravens got cold feet. They decided to rescind this trade and not go through with it before the official trading era had begun. And so today, we're going to see what Maxx Crosby's career would have been like if he stayed in Baltimore. So as you can see, Maxx Crosby is actually a 42 overall when he is a left edge rusher at 98, 97 overall. This trade actually doesn't go through. And now I had to do this in offline mode because I technically could not get the trade to go through in an online mode, even with the easy trade, simulation, whatever it may be on Madden. It wouldn't go through. So I'm doing this offline so I could control basically all 32 teams. And to do that, I had to sim through the last season. And so the Ravens ended up with pick 22. And surprisingly, the Buffalo Bills also won the Super Bowl as well. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and send our first round picks from 2026 and 2027 over to the Las Vegas Raiders for Maxx Crosby, who is now a punter. We'll make sure to change him back to left edge rusher. And to do this, I had to technically turn cap room off because, re-signing people is pretty interesting. But we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and submit this trade. It is accepted. The only time in league history where 2 first-round picks have been traded for a punter. With that being said, that is one part of the puzzle. Now, something that I have heard, and maybe you guys have heard, is that Trey Hendrickson is supposed to be on, I don't know. He was supposed to be on this team with Maxx Crosby. He was apparently in the building as Maxx Crosby and his family were in the building. And let's just say, we're going to try and get Trey Hendrickson on the team. I think it's very possible. I just need to figure out a way to do it. Surprisingly, the only way, I don't know if it was just the settings that I had for free agency and trades to be automatic. I had to actually trade for Trey Hendrickson. That is okay. He's apparently our kicker, but we just traded a 2028 7th round pick, which I don't think will be much in due time, but we were able to get both of them on the team. So the one thing now that I need to go do is I need to go change them back to their proper positions because they are actually the worst 2 players on the team. And so now, as you can see, we now have Maxx Crosby and Trey Hendrickson both on the exact same team, just like the Ravens wanted. So if you're a Ravens fan, you're welcome. We're going to see what this pairing is like. I do need to kind of change up the defense a little bit because we will be playing both of them pretty much on the line. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff I got to do before we even see what this looks like. But in general, I'm happy to see. Also, here's the proof that the Bills won the Super Bowl, by the way. It was a decently good game for them. They went 14-3 and won the Super Bowl 20-14 against the Packers. So Josh Allen got his ring after all. So now it is time to see how Maxx Crosby's career actually works out. He is paired, 97 overall. He's paired with an 89 overall Trey Hendrickson. Obviously got a pretty good defense around him. I'm excited to see how most of this goes. And it starts with our week 1 matchup against the Buffalo Bills. Okay, here we are on 2nd and 15. As you can see, Maxx Crosby in the game there. Looks to go, and it's just going to be a quick pass out across the middle. 3rd and 8 coming up here. Maxx Crosby in on the game. I wonder where Trey Hendrickson's at. I'm not seeing him here. That is A-okay. Josh, back to pass. Maxx Crosby in pursuit. He's taken off, though. That is your Super Bowl MVP right there from last season. Let me tell you, Maxx Crosby in on the pursuit, though. That's what we'd like to see. In his first game, looking good so far. He's actually dropping back. He's going to go to the flat. Maxx Crosby nearing. Kyle Hamilton going to get that tackle there. Not bad. Is Trey Hendrickson... Oh, yeah, there he is. He's actually playing more of like a defensive tackle. Interesting. So he's actually in the game. He's number 91. As you may see, he's actually not in the game now. It's weird that he's kind of taking these weird snaps. So Maxx Crosby double teamed, trying to get to the quarterback. This offensive line for the Bills has looked really, really good. Let's see if Maxx can be a little disruptive here. I mean, it's a long game. There's a lot of snaps. It's not going to be enough. Okay, so it is 1st down here for the Buffalo Bills. Let's hope they don't get a delay of game again. Seems like Madden sim is pretty bad. Maxx Crosby, get in there. Okay, Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson gets his first sack of the season. Now, I do want it to be known that Maxx Crosby actually led the league throughout that last sim of last season with 18. So really nice so far. Trey Hendrickson, obviously a guy that they would have paired up with Maxx Crosby They can't double team both of them, and Trey Hendrickson gets to Josh Allen in game 1. Let's see what they do here. They have all the heavy hitters here. Maxx Crosby and Trey Hendrickson on the one side, and Maxx Crosby! Oh my word! A 9-yard sack, and they celebrate. They celebrate. That's what happens when you have a good D-line like you do with Maxx Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, Matabuke, Owe, and anyone else that rushes. That was that 3 back-to-back sacks or at least tackle for losses? That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Can he get there? In motion, drops back into coverage. It's a screen. Oh man, and none other than Maxx Crosby from the other side of the field. He gets the touchdown saving tackle. The Ravens did lose this matchup 20-28 against the reigning Super Bowl champions. Ravens couldn't get it done in week 1. But I do feel pretty confident that Maxx Crosby and this team are going to be able to be game wreckers. But it only matters if they continue to win games. John Harbaugh, of course, is still the same head coach here. They do not have Jesse Minter as their head coach in this version of my career. But that's a-okay. Let's see what this defense looked like. So we're going to go over to team stats here. I just want to see how many sacks we were able to have. So we had 2 turnovers as a defense, both by interception. Honestly feels pretty good. Let's go over to our Ravens. Seems like Lamar had a pretty bad game. Defensively, okay, so we're looking for sacks here. Trey Hendrickson had 2 sacks. Maxx Crosby had 1 sack. They both shared a tackle for loss apiece. Maxx Crosby had 6 tackles to Trey Hendrickson's 10. He also had a pass deflected. Honestly, not the worst game. I will say by them, I mean they were leading sackers and some of our leading tacklers as defensive line edge rushers. So, you know, I feel pretty good about that in the first game. I'm not going to lie. Oh, man, this looks really rough in week 2. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. The Baltimore Ravens are facing the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think Patrick Mahomes is actually back because I do not have any pre-existing injuries. Because technically Maxx Crosby is injured. So I think, yeah, they do have Patrick Mahomes here. They also have Leo Chanel, who's their linebacker. But yeah, not the greatest so far. Looking at some of the league leaders, I mean, we have 2 interceptions there. Geno Stone, oh my goodness, okay. 4 sacks by Van Ginkel, 3 by Rashawn Gary, and 3 by Karlaftis. Holy goodness. And Cleveland somehow has a 344-yard passer in week 1. What's going on in Cleveland? Kayshon Boutte had 183 yards. That's wild. That is wild. But just looking at the league, there's really not much to look at. I mean, it's week 1. You can't really look at it too much. But we're hoping to make a playoff push. And we're without our strong safety, Igabino soon. I don't think that matters that much. We're going to see how the season goes. Okay, so as you can see here, we actually beat the Kansas City Chiefs with a score of 30-27. I'm kind of curious as to how this game actually went. Given that I just simulated it, there's a lot of games. We can't watch every single game. But looking at the box score here, looking, of course, at our Ravens defense, how did they do? How did they do? So looking at the sacks, seems like Trey Hendrickson had 1 sack, 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Maxx Crosby had 1 tackle for loss, 1 tackle. Did Maxx Crosby get hurt? Why does he not have like a bunch of tackles? How many snaps did he play? Is that a thing that we can look at? Oh no, please don't tell me he's hurt. Please. Okay, he's not hurt. Maybe he just had a bad game. Maybe he just had a bad game. You know what? That's nothing that I can pin on him, okay? That's nothing that I can pin on him. Yeah, this is crazy. Looking at this, he played 2 games. He played 142 downs in total throughout the 2 weeks, which is, honestly, that's 3rd on the team. Right behind Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton. And also is tied with Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey. These guys, yeah, he played all last week and he was very much neutralized. That's crazy. 1 tackle for loss. That was his only tackle. No sacks. They must have absolutely been game planning for him. And you know what? Credit to them because they need it. They honestly need it. Now, looking at our schedule, we are playing the Jags, who actually are 1-1. They do have, they have a good defense, it seems like. Like, all of their best players are on defense. Whereas the Ravens, they're kind of mixed around a little bit. So I'm excited to see how he does this week, how Trey Hendrickson does this week. Because Maxx Crosby, he's here to play. Okay, he is here to play. Well, after week 3, the Ravens got the dub 21-14. They have the Washington Commanders coming up. Seems like a bunch of people had some great games, like J.J. McCarthy with 4 touchdowns, Bo with 4 touchdowns, a crazy game between the Bengals and the Colts, where Anthony Richardson Sr. threw 3 touchdowns for 336 yards. Tua had a 76 completion percentage on 4 touchdowns, and Shakir had 150 yards on 2 touchdowns and 11 receptions. What was going on in week 3? I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and look at the schedule. Let's see how our boy Maxx Crosby had done against this Jaguars defense, or technically offense, because Maxx Crosby plays defense. So, looking at tackles, Roquan Smith had 11. Did Maxx Crosby get a sack? He got a half sack with Kyle Hamilton. He only had 1 tackle for loss on 3 tackles. And that's honestly about it. That's really it. There's nothing else that he has gotten. No fumbles forced. I would have thought that would have been the game given how bad their offense was, but maybe their just line's good. I don't really know. Roquan Smith absolutely ate this week. Like, let me tell you, he ate and left no crumbs with 7 solo tackles. 7 solo tackles. Mind you, all of Max's tackles were actually assisted, and he had a tackle for loss and a sack. So that's really not saying that much, but I wonder how it is against this Commanders team, because yeah, week 3 was not that great. Well, the Ravens in week 4 beat the Commanders 27-24. They are now 3-1. They're looking prime for a playoff push. Mind you, we haven't really played any divisional rivals. Like, we haven't played anyone in our league or in our division. No Cincinnati, no Pittsburgh, no Cleveland yet. I'm kind of waiting for one of those games because I want to see how Maxx Crosby and Trey Henderson obviously do, maybe against the Bengals. So nothing quite yet. We don't have any Raven on any of these. The sack total is kind of looking low. Interceptions are kind of looking low. Overall, it is what it is. But what's most important is how did Maxx Crosby and, just the team do against the Commanders? I really don't care about the offense. I'm so sorry. That's not my problem. I care about how Maxx Crosby did. Did he have a good game? Any sacks? Matabuki had 2. Roquan Smith had 0.5 and Owe had 0.5. So, not bad. Did Maxx Crosby, did he play? He's got to be on here. There he is. Okay. 2 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and that's it. That's crazy. One thing that I think I should do, because we're starting to get into this weird territory where, like, Maxx Crosby ain't doing nothing, okay? And the one thing that I think was a problem, was the scheme. So they originally came in as a 3-4 scheme here, okay? It was a 72% fit. I mean, 84 when I was playing all of this, all of that, all of this. Like, 84 is obviously the highest. 3-4 scheme was apparently what I was playing, a speed rusher. It's what I was playing the best at, okay? And a 4-3 cover 3 is not bad, but we were playing a 3-4 storm, which actually puts, if I'm not wrong, puts Max and Trey back at that linebacker position, and it allows them to come down where we have these defensive tackles if we need it. What is our offensive line doing? Oh. Why does bro look so old? He looks like Jabba the Hutt. Oh my goodness. Anywho, there seems to be a lot of things that we are trying to fill the holes in, okay? We obviously have a great running back and a great quarterback. Defensively, I think we've done okay. We have given up a lot of touchdowns. I don't think our defense is actually that good. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, just looking at team stats, offensive yards, not the best. Defensive, we're 24th in the league. That's not that great. I'm going to be completely honest. We have been pretty good against the run. Not great against the pass, but that's okay. That's okay. We're playing against the Houston Texans, who are 1-3. I have a feeling we're just going to sim this week. Let it be what it is. Maxx Crosby, just give me something, please. Give me something. 4-1. All I'm looking for is how Maxx Crosby did, okay? 28-7. I will say that is actually really, really good. So, where is Maxx Crosby in all of this? Oh, yes. This is the Maxx Crosby game here, guys. Okay? 2.5 sacks. 0 tackle for losses, surprisingly. 6 tackles, which is actually the second most on the team this game. So, he does that. He does what he does. 4 assisted tackles and 2 solo. And I don't know if there was anything else. No fumbles. Just a good, solid game with 2.5 sacks. Mind you, we had a ton of sacks. 2.5. One for Trenton Simpson. One for Teddy Buchanan. Half for Trey, Nate, Matabuke, and Kyle Hamilton. Sorry, you didn't actually get a half sack. I'm sorry. But a lot of sacks divvied out this game. So he ate. This entire defense ate, I will say. 28-7. Okay, Nationers, here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump into midseason, see how Maxx Crosby's season going. Obviously, had a great game against the Houston Texans. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Colts, and then a bye in Week 8. So we'll see how this team progresses as we head into the midseason. Okay, so we are at our official bye. We won against Tampa, and we won against Indianapolis. So sitting right now, we have a record of 6-1. 89 on offense, 89 on defense. Honestly, we've been pretty good. We have been pretty good. I will be completely honest. And if we somehow win the Super Bowl, I don't know what I'm going to do. I genuinely do not know what I'm going to do. 6-1, leading the AFC North by a comfortable 2 games. Derrick Henry has actually entered as second leading league rusher. So far, nobody on the sack list. And I feel like it's one of those Packer kind of syndrome where everyone's kind of like a wide receiver too, so everyone kind of eats. And I feel like that's what our defense is, like where everyone eats. So I want to check Maxx Crosby's, games here. That's what I want to do defensively. Okay. So did he do anything? Did Maxx Crosby do anything this game? Two tackles. Okay. 2 tackles against Tampa Bay. Not the worst. What did he do against the Colts? Please tell me he did something. Please, that's all that I actually care about. Please tell me he did something. He did. Okay, so he actually had 1 solo tackle, 3 assisted, 4 tackles, and he did lead the team in sacks, and so did Trey. Trey's actually had a sneaky good season. He's, I think, leading the team in sacks itself, depending on how that 2.5 kind of changes some things up. But done well for himself with the tackles. It seems like they split their solos and assisted. No fumbles, no nothing. Maybe let's just look at, I think what is probably more important is to look at the stats, the player stats as a whole. So let's go down to our defense. Let's go down and see if we can sort by Maxx Crosby. So I think I can look at his player card, all of that. That's not what I actually want to look at. I just care about how, let's just go to sack leaders. I believe that as Trey Hendrickson. So Trey and Maxx Crosby actually lead the team with 5 sacks. Let's also add our will linebacker, Teddy Buchanan. Matabuke also has 3.5, which is pretty good for even a defensive tackle of his caliber. But Trey Hendrickson actually leads our line with 38 tackles. Maxx Crosby has 24. He's got 13 assisted, 11 solo, whereas Trey has 21 solo and 17 assisted. Trey has also 6 tackles for loss. He also has 1 deflection. None of them. Yeah, Trey's also played 56 less snaps than Maxx Crosby. And maybe the trade was actually worth it in the long run, but that's also in the season. They're not going to be paired up together. So I don't know if this would have happened in real life, where they're going to have to guard 2 of the best edge rushers in the league. But Maxx Crosby's definitely got to get his tackle for losses up. I just feel like he's getting double teamed all the time. But for his production to still be at 24 tackles and 5 sacks for a guy that does not get a lot of sacks, we're halfway through the season. He averaged about 10 to 11 sacks a season. So pretty good on his parts, I will say. We're pretty good offensively. We're 5th overall. We have a 13th overall defense in terms of defensive yardage. So, yeah, and we're also 7th in points scored. So that's pretty good. Taking a look at the league as a whole, Buffalo's crushing it, 6-1. Denver's 6-0. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know who's good on the other side of the ball, on the NFC counterparts. Why is it always the Cowboys Panthers? Why are they always 5-1? How does this happen all the time? They're always so good in sim. Oh my goodness. Well, let's advance a week. So coming off the bye, the main game that I actually want to see is that Bengals game, because that Bengals game is going to be a super good offense versus a pretty good defense. And just looking at how our team has progressed so far, morale-wise, we're actually doing pretty good at 6-1. Like Maxx Crosby's a +1. Like basically everyone on our defense is a +1. Everyone on our offense is a +1. And it's kind of funny because Linderbaum is still a 33 overall long snapper. So it is what it is. But That's what we got going on. Let's go ahead and let's progress up through that Bengals game, and we'll see how that game goes. We'll hop into that game. Well, yeah, so the Baltimore Ravens are now 8-1. They beat the Browns handily 24-6 and beat the Saints in a one-score game 24-20. The only loss of the season was actually against the Bills in week 1, the defending Super Bowl champions. And just for reference here, I just want to see how they did. Oh my gosh, really? Maxx Crosby had 2 tackles and a sack. Okay, not the worst. How did he do against the Saints? Will it be any better? Will it be better? Okay, he had 8 tackles, 5 assists, 3 solo. He had 1 tackle for loss and 1.5 sacks. He shared with Matabuke. That's actually nuts. I really like seeing that, I will say. I really like seeing that. So that means he should theoretically be up to 6.5 sacks on the season. So feeling pretty good. I don't know how Trey's done. We'll kind of see after this game, especially because we will be playing the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a fun one. Okay, so after the Madden's delay of game that granted the Cincinnati Bengals 5 more yards to try and get a first down, it seems like we have some people heating up. I think that was Trey Hendrickson actually with a gold superstar. I think he's heating up. He's not on the field right now, but Maxx Crosby seems like he's going to get double teamed, if not chip blocked over there. It is not. It's going to be across the middle. It seems like Joe Burrow is trying to get that ball out as fast as he can. He knows that this defensive line with Trey and Max on it is a force to be reckoned with. Like it actually is. Matabuke, Maxx Crosby with a spin. Maxx Crosby almost got to Joe Burrow there. Oh my word. Almost got to Joe Burrow there. That could have been pretty nice to see. Because, you know, sacks are great for him, especially as a guy that doesn't get a whole lot of sacks. And the quick mesh route concept across the middle for Joe Burrow on their first drive of the game. Joe Burrow back in shotgun. Only going to bring... Oh, they're going to bring a 4th rusher. Maxx Crosby gets there. Oh, and he gets it out. Oh, my goodness. Joe Burrow having to slide his feet to Taj Brooks with the reception. Looks like that was their running back that they might have taken or signed. I don't actually know who Taj Brooks is. Maybe he's an auto-generated rookie. Who knows? However, Maxx Crosby getting double-teamed over there. Surprisingly that the other guy didn't see the gap. There was a huge gap just that formed over there. And could have gotten a sack there, or at least could have gotten a hit on Joe Burrow, because I swear they're going to... Poor Joe Burrow if he had to play against Maxx Crosby, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt every single year for 6 games a season. It would have been pretty bad. That's not going to happen. It's going to be Trey Hendrickson, his former teammate, instead of Maxx Crosby. And getting a lot of pressure, just maybe not in his face, it seems like. And that will take us to the end of the quarter, where Joe Burrow and this Bengals offense are on their back heel. They've been able to get some positive plays, but I feel like we have a sack brewing up really soon. Quick switch of the field. Maxx Crosby is in coverage right now against Taj Brooks, because technically he is an outside linebacker as a left edge. And is that going to somehow be pass interference on Maxx Crosby? Maxx Crosby's going to get called for pass interference? Are you kidding me? You actually have to be kidding me. That's actually crazy that Maxx Crosby got a PI against him in his sim. Can he get there? No, it's going to be Simpson. Okay. Here we go. Maxx Crosby in. Trying to heat up. Matabuke's heating up. Maxx Crosby actually spins and shows Joe Burrow into Matabuke's arms. So that's going to be a solo sack for Matabuke, who was heating up. That is really nice to see, especially on 3rd and goal here. They need 13 yards to get to the end zone. Maxx Crosby looking to try and get a sack. Oh, Joe Burrow gets hit as he's thrown. Going to be across the middle, not going to be enough. That is a great drive finisher there by this defensive line. Okay, we have a 2nd and 10 coming up for Joe Burrow, or should I say Joe Shiesty. Maxx Crosby trying to get in there. They just keep throwing these short passes just right into the flat on these slants. And, I mean, it's obviously not working for him. Right now it is 14-3. It's not looking good for the Bengals here. Zach Taylor might lose his job after this game if it does become a blowout in the second half. 4th quarter here. That's definitely a holding call. I don't know if you saw Matabuke just getting held. He was just like this. Like, where's the call, man? Where's the call? Christian Kirk's now on this team. He's signed here. 4th and 6. Obviously, the Bengals have to go for it. In motion. Looks like it's man. It is. It's a zone. Maxx Crosby! He gets in there! He gets a sack. It's exactly what you need. It's exactly what you want to see. And Maxx Crosby gets in there. Oh my goodness. He beats his man. That looks like a Titus Howard. Who is that? Shelby Harris? Marvin Mims? Who's the Mims guy? I know that he's actually on the team, but I forget actually who he is. Anywho, Nationers. Well, Nationers, it brings up 2nd and 15. The Maxx Crosby treatment. Double team there. Not too bad. They were able to get 8 yards back. Gesicki with that catch. He's been the main target so far in this ball game. Let's see how Joe Burrow and empty set does with no protection. They get a triple team on Maxx Crosby. Are you kidding me? A triple team on Maxx Crosby. I get he's good, but is he triple team good? Are you joking? They had the running back, the right tackle, and the right guard all guarding Maxx Crosby for a 3rd and 7. Are you kidding me? What happened? Oh, no, man. We're going to have to look. We're going to have to look. That's just, we're going to have to sim it because we only play defense. Please just be good. Mark Andrews for 21 yards. Come on. Lamar Jackson sacked. Sacked again. Deflection. You got to get there. You got to get there. Joe Burrow kneels. Wow. How did we lose that ball game? I genuinely need to see the scoring plays. I simmed and I was writing notes about what happened. And somehow we lost this game? What? How did we lose that in the 4th quarter? I thought we were pretty safe. Let's look at the score summary. So we obviously score. We score with a field goal with a run. Okay? We're up 14-3 at half. They do a touchdown pass, 2-point conversion. Okay? So they're at 11. They then score another touchdown pass with a failed 2-point conversion. Or vice versa, rather. And then a field goal. That's crazy. This isn't even Baltimore's score. Who scored up here? It just says field goal. How is Madden so broken? Anywho, that's not so important about a win or loss in the division. It's important, but I want to see how Maxx Crosby did because he was able to get a sack. He only had 1 tackle for loss and 2 tackles in total. That's diabolical. How is Maxx Crosby just getting two tackles, man? That's crazy. I mean, I wonder if it's because Madden just has them like passing all the time, you know? Whereas he's really good against the run a lot of the time. And he just, I don't know. Madden doesn't make much sense to me, but that's okay. It's not my job to be understanding. I just want to see how Maxx Crosby does. Also, I do think it is also important to note how Trey Hendrickson done in this game because that was a revenge game for Trey Hendrickson. And I think he might have let this team down. Because, yeah. Where is he? Should be here. He actually did have, okay, 4 tackles, 2 and 2, 1 tackle for loss and a sack. That's actually not bad. But out of him, that's it? That's rough. That's really rough. I hate to say it. I actually hate to say it. Okay, Nationers, here's what we're going to do. Because obviously we have a game. We have a whole bunch of games against the Steelers, against the Bengals, against the Browns again, against the Steelers again. Here's what we're going to do. I think this team is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs. We'll see how Maxx Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, and his team did in the regular season. And then if we make the playoffs, we'll see how they do in the playoffs. Okay, so the Ravens finished off with a record of 12-5. They are in the divisional round as the number 2 seed against the Buffalo Bills, who were the number 1 seed. What record did they have? That's what I'm curious. They were a 13-4 team. If we didn't lose against the Bengals, kind of funny enough, I guess we probably still would have lost the tiebreaker. But here's who made the playoffs. Nobody in the AFC South other than the Jags, because you have to, at 9-8. But we had the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Baltimore Ravens all make it into the playoffs. And that's a dangerous one because if we win, we could be facing the Bengals if they beat the Chargers. Regardless, if they beat the Chargers and we win, we play each other in the wild card or in the divisional round, rather. So that's kind of interesting, okay? Like, how do we do as a whole in this season? Okay, that's something that I want to see. Playoff schedule, that's not what I actually care about. Team schedule, this is something that I do care about. Should be able to look at these box scores. So how do we do against the Steelers? 13-3, 20-10, Bengals, Panthers, Falcons, Steelers, and we went on a 3-game losing streak to end off the season. And we lost against the Browns in week 18. That's crazy. To be fair, Lamar Jackson did not play. Did Maxx Crosby play? Did any of our top guys? He did. He had 9 tackles and 2.5 sacks. We got to see. Hold on. Guys, we have to see the stats. Okay, we have to. We just have to. Okay, defensively, how did we do? This is important to me. How did we do? Maxx Crosby led the team with 15 sacks. 15 sacks. He had 12 tackle for losses, which was second on the team. He had 77 total tackles, 35 assists, and 42 solo, which is honestly, I feel like it's pretty normal. I mean, it's pretty good for an edge rusher, I will say. 2 passes deflected, 1 blocked kick, and he played all 17 games, whereas Trey Hendrickson played 16, so he must have not played that last game, and he played nearly 1,000 downs played. That is great, man. You know what? I can't blame him. 15 total sacks. He had 18 technically last season in the Madden sim. Matabuki had 13.5. Trey Hendrickson had 8, but he had also less tackles. Really? Trey had, based on the trajectory from the early goings of this as a whole, it seemed like Trey Hendrickson was going to have a better season than Maxx Crosby. I hate to say it, he did not. Maxx Crosby might actually be the guy that they needed in Baltimore. I really don't know. And it's going to come down to seeing how this team does in the playoffs. Are we going to be a first-round exit? I mean, we had the best defense in the entire league. That's, that's just not made up. Well, also, yeah, we're just off the sack total. I don't know if we had many interceptions. It seems like Lamar Jackson didn't have a great year. Derrick Henry did pretty good, though. He had 10 touchdowns on nearly 1,500 yards rushing. But it really comes down. I mean, even the Patriots had a bad season. The Jets had a better season than them. The Colts were pretty bad, 13-14. The Raiders were also pretty bad, and they had the first overall pick. The Chiefs, I guess, also missed, and they had Patrick Mahomes in, too. At 7, they missed the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes, with him in the entire season. That's crazy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and advance. I think we could beat this Browns team now that we have our starters in. I genuinely believe that we could beat them. All the low seeds just won on the AFC side. The Browns won, the Bengals won, and the Broncos won. The 7-6-5 seeds all won. 15-10. You're telling me we scored 10 points in a divisional game? We lost back-to-back weeks against the Browns, and now it's our offseason. That's actually crazy. I do need to see what that box score looks like, though. I do need to see what this box score looks like. Lamar Jackson, he threw for 72 yards. He threw for 72 yards in 15-minute quarters. What's wrong with Lamar Jackson? Trey Hendrickson went off. He had 3 sacks. Maxx Crosby had 1.5 sacks. He had 6 tackles, 4 assisted, 2 solo, and 1 tackle for loss. Are you kidding me? Do we have any interceptions? None. Trey Hendrickson went off with 3 sacks. That's crazy. Marlon and Roquan, they both did great. Malachi Starks. That's crazy. That is actually crazy that we lost that game. Well, Maxx Crosby's first season as a Baltimore Raven comes to an end. And I think, I'm going to be completely honest, I thought he had a great season. For somebody that is now 28 years old, coming off a knee injury, he had a great season. He had 12 tackle for losses, 77 total tackles. He also had 2 deflections and 1 blocked kick. I hate to say it. He might have actually been what the Ravens needed, but that is not the case. The Ravens go into the offseason. They had a great first season with Maxx Crosby and Trey Hendrickson, but even with both of them on the team, Maxx Crosby did pretty well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be simulating up until the draft. Obviously, we're just going to see year by year how Maxx Crosby does, okay? Because it's hard to go through every season by season, but we're going to basically continue to go until Maxx Crosby retires. Okay, so it is officially the playoffs for the 2027. It seems like the Baltimore Ravens have a bye. The Raiders actually snuck in. The Patriots also made a bounce back. And yeah, we got a bye in week 1, so we will be playing another team. Bryce Young also bringing the Carolina Panthers to the #1 seed. Let's just see how Maxx Crosby did this season. He should still be on the team. I have not done anything, but, you know, very well could have been gone. He finished off this season with 13.5 sacks. 13.5 sacks is crazy. 12 tackle for losses. He had kind of a down year, it seems like. He had 63 total tackles, 40 of one solo, though, and 22 tackles. So that still seems to be pretty good. It's about a 2-to-1 ratio. 13.5 sacks, though, is nuts. He had 1 deflected, 2 forced fumbles. He also recovered those for 2 yards. And, yeah, he only actually played 13 games. Seems like Maxx Crosby might have been injured this season. He only played 13 games. So it might have been a down year, but he still played only 13 games. So hopefully he is not hurt kind of heading into this. That would be really, really bad. But that's just, oh gosh, let's hope not that Maxx Crosby is not hurt heading into this week. But what seemed to happen is that Trey Hendrickson is gone. Trey Hendrickson is no longer on the team. I saw that when we were looking at the stats for Maxx Crosby. I was kind of surprised that we didn't see Trey. I mean, you know, we saw Matabuke. We saw some other guys kind of in there. Oweh's gone. Actually, Oweh's here. He's just a right edge rusher, and he's back up to Green here. I wonder what happened. Wait, did Trey Hendrickson retire? Or did he fall off a cliff? Is he like hurt? He's no longer on our team. You're telling me in his second year with the Ravens, bro retired. That is wild. That is actually wild. I wish Madden kept everything, all the data and whatnot, but that's okay. The Bengals also actually won the Super Bowl. The Bengals won the Super Bowl last year. That's fine. That's fine. Also, the Jaguars just fired Kyle Shanahan and Liam Cohen. That's great. What? That's crazy. It must have, what? Aren't they in the playoffs? Oh, they went 5-12. Liam Coleman and Kyle Shanahan are gone. That's crazy. Okay, well, that's advance a week. We're just going to jump to the Super Bowl, and we'll see if Maxx Crosby and the Baltimore Ravens were able to make it, given that Lamar Jackson actually figured out how to play football again. And the Ravens did make it to the Super Bowl, which is great. So Maxx Crosby could get his first ring here. I feel like this is one of those games, especially because we beat the Raiders. Surprisingly, they beat the Houston Texans. We played them in the divisional round. The Ravens beat the Raiders 17-7. Obviously, the Raiders don't have Maxx Crosby anymore. And then we beat the Buffalo Bills, who won the Super Bowl 2 years prior, who then beat the Denver Broncos, who also beat the Steelers. So we're in the Super Bowl against the 7-seed Rams. That's crazy. We're going to sim this, okay? We are going to sim this and see what happens, okay? Okay, so the Baltimore Ravens are up. They are up 14-7 now. They seem to be doing pretty well. 14-10. They head into half. They go up 21-10. Come on now. 28-10. It looks like the Baltimore Ravens might actually win the Super Bowl. Oh, I don't want to speak too soon. And it seems like they are going to win. I just needed to make sure that they won. So Maxx Crosby, in his second year with the Ravens, wins the Super Bowl. Beats the 7-seeded Rams. Tyler Linderbaum's there. Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. John Harbaugh gets his second Super Bowl ring. That is crazy. Mind you, I have done nothing. I have simply just traded Maxx Crosby and Trey Hendrickson to the Ravens. AI or the CPU has done everything else. How did Maxx Crosby do in the Super Bowl? Julius Pearman threw for 280 yards in his Super Bowl debut. That is crazy. So the Ravens, Maxx Crosby had 2 sacks, 5 total tackles, and a tackle for loss. That is what you want to see. Did he have anything here? No, just had a solid game. Solid game. 2 sacks. 2 sacks. That's what we like to see. Without any Trey Hendrickson, no nothing. Gabe Herrera, Trent Simpson. We also had Plebis, Mike Green. We had a lot of guys in here. Marlon Humphrey down here. He didn't even do that much in the Super Bowl. Like, Roquan Smith went off. Jair Alexander went off. Kyle Hamilton went off. Nate Wiggins. I mean, some of these guys you would expect to go off in the Super Bowl against a rookie or maybe a second-year quarterback. Didn't really happen, but 35-20. The Baltimore Ravens prevail. And Maxx Crosby, again, with a solid season, still in his prime. He is now 29 years old. Man, yeah, wow. So that's check retirements. Got to make sure that, Maxx Crosby does not retire. Derrick Henry does retire after 12 seasons, so understandable there. So as we head into the 2028 season, it seems like the defense has taken a step back. Maxx Crosby is no longer a superstar. He is just a gold superstar, rather. He's not an X factor, I guess, a superstar. I don't know the whole thing about Madden. He's no longer red. He is now gold. And this defense obviously needs a lot of work. The offense, we do not have a good running back at all. We lost our right tackle. Tyler Linderbaum is also, so he's our center and our left guard. Tyler Linderbaum's on here twice. That's crazy. So, I mean, Nationers, the Raiders are Super Bowl champs, the Ravens are Super Bowl champs. And now they head into the season. Let's see how this goes once we head into the playoffs. Okay, so I don't think the Ravens made the playoffs this season. They ended off with a record of 7-10. They were one of the worst offenses in the entire league at rank 26. Somehow still had one of the best defenses in the league. They had I'll say the 10th best defense, I would say. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Like, I still do not know how you could go from Super Bowl and then just fall off a cliff. You literally have no idea. But one thing that I do want to check is how our boy Maxx Crosby did. Did he... Oh, yeah! Maxx Crosby had 12.5 sacks. So he's gone from 15 to 13.5 to 12.5. He does take a little dip in the tackle department, but still around a 2-to-1 ratio. 6 tackle for losses. How many games did he play? He did really nothing. Only played 13 games again. Really? Played 13 games again. He is in year 9. He should be 20. So he's 27, 28. He should be 30 right now. I believe so. He should be 30 years of age. He's 31. So we could see he has an upper arm fracture. He's week to week. An upper arm fracture. Okay. I mean, I rock with it, I guess. But it seems like he had a pretty good season. But golly, Matabuke, get this man paid, man. Get him some money. Also, Trent Simpson had 100 tackles, whereas Roquan Smith with 118. These guys were crushing it. Jair Alexander, he's still crushing it. Malachi Starks, Marvin Humphrey. These guys this defense is good, man. That defense is good. How do we rank defensively? Let's see. I said the 10th. We had the second best defense. The second best defense. And we could not win. Or even get to the playoffs, man. We couldn't. But contract extended. John Harbaugh gets a 3-year, $40 million deal. It's not the worst case scenario, but I mean, there's really nothing else that we could do. We just got to sim to next season, to be honest. Maxx Crosby looking so good so far. So Maxx Crosby in the what season is this? The 2029 season, okay. Maxx Crosby actually moves over to right edge. He is notorious as a left edge rusher, but he's going to move over to right edge. Matabuke is also a 94 overall. That is disgusting. That is crazy. But, I mean, hey, Maxx Crosby's making a change. Roquan Smith is still on the team. Trenton Simpson, Matabuke, Herrera. We lose our strong safety. So, obviously, some people seem to have, seems like some guys have retired. Let's see who exactly retired for the Ravens. Nobody did. Interesting. Let's see if Maxx Crosby is actually the guy to retire this season. Let's find out after this one. And somehow we had a bounce back year. Last year we went 7-10. This year we go 12-5, and we are the 5 seed. The Steelers still that 1 seed. The Jaguars also rebound after firing their offensive, everyone pretty much. Liam Cohen, Kyle Shanahan, their defensive coordinator. So we make the playoffs again. Maxx Crosby, how did he look in the regular season? This is where I like to see our guy shine. Brother. He is in his prime right now. 12.5 sacks yet again. Matabuke with a 10 piece. Eddie Holman with a 9.5 piece at right edge. which he was the guy that actually took over for Maxx Crosby's spot. Well, maybe not. No, because Maxx Crosby normally plays left edge. Never mind. Regardless, he's the other side of the edge. Maxx Crosby had 17 tackle for losses, 98 total tackles, 55 solo, 45 assisted, no interceptions, no forced fumbles, played 17 games, and nearly 1,200 downs played in a career year. He is 32 years old, 10 years of experience, and he is in his prime. He's a gold superstar. That is crazy. I mean, I should make him as captain, even if he's not already captain. He should be captain. I'm not going to lie. Stats and contracts. Yeah, this is crazy. Just look at this. Look at this, man. Like, he had his best season. His best season. Other than this 2025 season, which was simulated, by the way. So he had his best season as a tackler. Best season as a tackle for loss expert. He has his 5th best sack season. Are you kidding me? That is actually crazy. That is so crazy to me. That at age 32, he had one of the best seasons he's ever had in his 10th year in the league. The Ravens, you might want to call up the Raiders again. John Harbaugh has also moved to 2nd all-time head coach. Pretty crazy. So we did have the 9th best defense. It seems like our offense still struggling a little bit. We'll see how this kind of goes as we head into the offseason and whatnot. So we shall see. Oh, and somehow the Ravens made it to the Super Bowl. They're playing the 4-seeded Philadelphia Eagles at 9, and they had a record of 9-8. This is a 5-4 matchup, man. Somehow we made it to the playoffs. Somehow we made it to the Super Bowl. Somehow Lamar Jackson is a worse player than Maxx Crosby in this so far. Yearly awards, crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie, crazy stuff. Choose draft class, auto-generated. I don't care. Give me someone. What does our team look like? Like, what does our team look like? Zay Flowers, 84 overall Jones. All right. Dukes. Okay. We also got Bishop. Okay. This line stinks. What is our left side of the line? Mark Andrews has regressed tremendously. We have no running back. 85 overall. Our defense actually... He's back. He is so back. Are you kidding me? He's back to an ex-superstar. He dropped down and went back up. And everyone else sucks again. That is... What? What? I genuinely... Is Maxx Crosby carrying this team right now? Like, I'm asking for a friend. Because offensively, Lamar is the only X factor. Tyler Linderbaum's a gold dev. That's crazy. I have a feeling we win the Super Bowl. I have a strong feeling we win the Super Bowl. So we're just going to sim to the Super Bowl. That's what we're going to do. I have a feeling we're going to win. But we'll find out here because you never know. It is Madden, and the sim can be pretty rough. But we won 10-7. How lovely. How lovely. Ashton Genty also wins Offensive Player of the Year, so that's pretty good. I like to see that. League transactions. I need to see if anyone retired because this is important. The Ravens, they re-signed Maxx Crosby to a $36.5 million contract for 1 year. They re-signed Roquan Smith. Jair Alexander retires, and the staff is filled out. Okay, Jair Alexander is gone. That is okay. I'm going to simulate the draft. Somehow we win a Super Bowl with the most mid team of all time. I genuinely don't know what's going on. I genuinely could not tell you what's going on. We also got some really good guys. Monk, right guard. Why do we need a right guard? Why? Why do we need a right guard? Defensive tackle? Great. Okay, wide receiver? Not bad. 66 overall? Are you kidding me? Golly. Dude, who are we going to grab? Who is on this team right now? Who did we sign? Do we just suck at, like... Mark Andrews left. Mark Andrews left. Okay, that's why we went for a tight end. That makes sense. Okay. Well, Nationers, our defense definitely takes a hit. We're no longer a 91 overall defense, but offensively, we're a little bit better. Somehow. I genuinely have no idea. Not that any of this matters. Let's just see where Maxx Crosby lies as we head into the season. Offensively, it absolutely sucks. He's an X factor. He is an X factor player. Okay. We're not going to sugarcoat that. Did he drop a little bit? Am I seeing that? Did he drop a little bit? He was 98. He's 95 overall right now. So that's not that bad. But the age is showing. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to sim to the playoffs. We're going to see how Maxx Crosby's season goes for the 2030 season. This is 5 seasons from now. Okay? Maxx Crosby is already off of his deal. He's re-signed a year contract for $35.5 million. I'm curious as to how much that lives up to the hype in this 1 year. Because technically, this is his 11th year in the league. He very well could retire. Most players of his caliber retire at 12 years. Be 34 if that were the case, but he might play longer. He very well could. 4-13. We win the Super Bowl and go 4-13. And the Raiders are the 1 seed. The Raiders, golly, how? We won the Super Bowl and went 4-13. That's crazy. Okay, well, let's see how we did. Okay, let's just see. Defensively, we always got to go straight to the sacks. Maxx Crosby had 10.5 sacks, 85 total tackles, 12 tackle for losses, 1 pass deflected, no fumbles forced. He only played 13 games. So did Madubuike and Gabe Herrera. And Kwity Paye, who actually plays for the Raiders this season, they all played 13 games. So something happened that they did not play all of the games. But, man, offensively, we were the 28th best team. And defensively, we were the 14th best team. That's not that great, if you ask me. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah, that's really rough. I'm not going to lie. That is, like, really, really, really rough. But Maxx Crosby does pretty good. Ashton Genty does really good. Joe Burrow still slinging for... He threw 1,000 more yards than Brock Purdy, who was second. Joe Burrow he's a possessed man. And also, the contract was extended for 3 more years. And we went 4-13. Well, let's go ahead and sim to the offseason and see what happens. Let's see if Maxx Crosby retires. He very well could. Do I think he will? I don't think he will. I don't think he will. The Carolina Panthers won the Super Bowl, by the way. How fun. How fun. Sam Orlando Cooper won. Cool. Rock on. League transactions. Let's just see. I guess nobody's retired yet. Nobody retired off our team. Saquon Barkley retired. DK Metcalf retired. Sam Darnold retiring. Jalen Phillips. These are guys that are in the league right now. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Well, Brandon Ayuk just won Offensive Player of the Year and retires. You can't... What? Are you kidding me? What the heck? Well, Nationers, that sounds pretty good to me. Maxx Crosby's still on the team, and that's all that matters. Well, maybe not. Maybe he's actually not on the team anymore because he only signed the year contract. So I wonder if he re-signs again or signs somewhere else. We're about to find out. This actually could be pretty bad. Defensively, he is no longer on the team. Where did Maxx Crosby go? NFL. Maxx Crosby is a New York Jet. This guy just signed a contract. I don't know how much, but he's no longer a Baltimore Raven. He played 5 seasons there and dipped. 5 seasons is done. Wow. Oh, wow. Maxx Crosby. $14 million for 1 season. This could be his last year. It very well could be. So we're going to have to check out the Jets and just see how Maxx Crosby done. Because obviously it does not matter how the Baltimore Ravens do now. Maxx Crosby's not on the team anymore. You're going to get 5 decently to great good seasons out of Maxx Crosby. Production. But Trey Hendrickson's going to leave after 2 years. That's what happens, guys. Madden is the NFL Bible. You have to follow it. So that's not my fault. That's strictly John Madden. I blame John Madden. Here's what we need to do. We need to now go see how the Jets of all teams did this season. They also have Anthony Richardson as their quarterback. So that's fun. Maxx Crosby, how did he do? You know what? stellar season. Him and Quinnen Williams. Actually, he's making a return back home. They were both in the same, I don't know if they were, I guess technically they were in the same draft. 12 years, award winner / mentor. They both had 10 sacks. Maxx Crosby had 73 total tackles. Just a great season out of him. And he played all 17 games. He was healthy this season. Just a great season of him playing left edge. Just tackle for losses out of these two. And actually, Quinnen Williams plays defensive tackle, so they were a force to be reckoned with. So I'm curious as to what happens after this season, because viewing this playoff, oh my gosh, dude, what is going on in the AFC East? What is going on? We are the only team in the AFC North that didn't make the playoffs. That's crazy. The Titans finally make the playoffs after so many years. The Raiders dropped to 4. They also didn't win the Super Bowl. They have not won a Super Bowl yet. That's crazy. They were the 1 seed twice so far and have not been able to win a Super Bowl. So we need to go into the offseason and see if Maxx Crosby retires. 2021, does Maxx Crosby retire? Isaiah Likely, Madubuike retires, and Lamar Jackson all retire. That's crazy. Oh, the Jets are here. Brandon Aubrey went to the Jets. Torrance and Fitzpatrick spending their life in purgatory over there. But I don't see Maxx Crosby. I don't see it. Tariq Woolen's gone. Ed Oliver's gone. Christian Watson. All the guys that are in the league right now are gone. Kwity Paye's gone. He was playing for us. Well, I know we're still playing as the Jets, but hate to say it, nothing's happening. Maxx Crosby is still a NFL player. I'm excited to see where he goes because he only signed a 1-year contract to the Jets. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm curious as to what will come of this. So we need to see NFL rosters here. The best player right now is Cody Derby. Ashton Genty is also a 99 overall. That's crazy. Left edge rusher. Maxx Crosby, he is a $11 million contract to the Jets again. He is a 91 overall. He signed another contract. He's a gold dev right now. He's 35 years old. And he's still putting up numbers. I'm excited to see what Maxx Crosby does this season. That's crazy. Wow, that's so nuts. So the Ravens officially suck again. However, we do need to see how our lovely, lovely Maxx Crosby did on the Jets. Let's see here. Seems like he had a pretty good season, I would say. 8 sacks. Okay, not bad. He had 74 total tackles, 12 tackle for loss. I mean, he's been a tackle for loss machine ever since he came into the league. Played pretty much the exact same season with 2 less sacks. Same amount of downs played, same amount of games played. And I hate to say it, he also did it without his defensive tackle, Quinnen Williams. I think he actually might have retired, maybe? I don't know. Maybe he's just on another team. But Maxx Crosby, not too shabby. I'm not going to lie. Not too shabby. Hold on. Let's see. And now we go to the offseason. He's 35 years old. Maybe 36. I think he is 35, depending on where the lined up. And let's see if Maxx Crosby hangs it up. Maxx Crosby has officially hung it up. Maxx freaking Crosby retires as a Jet. Maxx Crosby, after 14 seasons, retires. That is crazy. Who also won the Super Bowl? The Raiders finally won a Super Bowl, by the way. Just going to say, Brian Daboll is also the team there. Ashton Genty won MVP, so the Raiders... You know what? If Maxx Crosby got 2 Super Bowls when he was with Baltimore, the Raiders can have one in his retirement season. I think that's a beautiful way to end off this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.